I'm going to show you how to replace the starter on your Porsche Boxster 986, and we're going to start right now. My name is Aaron and this is Help Me DIY. Welcome to another video. If you would like to learn how to do stuff to your Boxster yourself, save some money, and do a lot of other DIY things, start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. If you want to know how you can tell if your starter needs to be replaced, I have another video on that. Click on this right here and it explains the symptoms to look for and how a starter actually works. But to replace it, our engine is right down here. So first we're going to put the top in service position. If you don't know how to do that, you're in luck. Got another video for that. So get it in service position. So once you have it in service position and you have the cover removed, you can see my nice filthy engine down here. And the starter is located down here. It's under this throttle body and plenum here. So I'm gonna have to remove the throttle body first. I have the older cable type. So I'm gonna make a separate video if you guys need to know how to do that, which you probably do. Go ahead and check this link out here and get it off and then come back here. All right, so before we start on this project, we want to go in here where our battery is and just disconnect the negative terminal. And it's just a 10mm socket right here. Just loosen that and pull it off. Now it does have a tendency to spring back and make contact, so you want to make sure you tuck it down so it won't do that. You can see the starter after we got through that stuff, and it's just sitting right here. It's got two connections on the back for the battery terminals. That's why we had to disconnect the battery. And this first one here is just a 10mm. Gonna break that loose, take this nut off without dropping it into the recesses. And then this will just slide off. So when putting it back on, remember that there's a little hook that goes around that thing. It's kind of cool. All right, and this other one here is a 13mm. So get him loosened up. What do you think? Should I clean this? All right. We can remove this guy. Push him out of the way. All right, now there should only be 2 bolts holding this whole assembly onto your engine, and one of them, I can feel it, is right here. And it is a 15mm, I believe. So this is the one that's pretty easy to get to. I say as I fumble around trying to get to it. Switch. There we go. It's on there nice and tight. All right, here's a big guy. And the other one is kind of down below underneath it. What a lot of people do is remove the cover from behind the rear seats and get a long extension and come all the way through to get to it. I'm gonna see if I can't be more creative and get it from up here. All right, so I got a couple extensions on here. Let me see if I can make it work. Oh, I got it on it. Turn it. All right, let me try to go through here to get a little handle on it. I don't like that idea. Yeah, maybe you could make that work, but I think I'm gonna go with everybody else. All right, to get to this one, we are removing this cover. If you've never seen this part of your engine, it's kind of cool. Of course, I have a video on that. You can check this out if you need to know how to remove this. And so we're gonna stick this long, huge contraption all the way through and hopefully undo that bolt. So let me find a way to get it through. So I'm gonna start to the left of the alternator and I'm gonna have you guide me through. You see?
Yeah, no, you're gonna need to be like 6 to 8 inches further in.
All right, so we got the socket on with this really long extension. Now you come over here and show them where it's going through. Can you see it there? Do you need to come over on my side? All right, so you can see we went through this little tiny hole between the belts right here. So where these two pulleys are close to each other. It's the only access to get all the way through it. And we had to actually stick the socket on the end of this extension back over there on the other side because our socket was too thick to get through here. So you want a really thin-walled socket, ideally, or else you're gonna have some struggles. So as soon as we broke it loose, it's kind of hanging loose here now. So I'm gonna remove it from the inside.
You have the magnet tool?
Tell them about the magnet tool.
The real MVP is the magnet tool in order to get your socket in place as well as the bolt. The real question is, how are we going to get our deep well socket that couldn't go through the opening by the belts to get off this? Because as you can see, as he's turning, he has one of those sockets with a little pressure release knob, and that's going to be fun. Pull towards you. Yes. And pull as far away as you can. Oh. And here we go.
Okay, here's the Frankenstein. It's a little short one, medium one, long one, another short one. And when we pulled it out, we actually got it to come straight out. So theoretically, you can stick this all the way straight through to get it. So that's gonna be good for reinstallation. I just want to show you the extensions that I'm using, total 18 inches. So that's the minimum you would need to get there. All right, so also notice that there is a ground connection underneath that bolt that we took out. So when you put it back, make sure that the bolt goes through that grounding connection. But in theory, this is gonna be loose now. Oh, hey, look at that. So we can finagle this thing out of here. All right, that guy's heavy. So I'm thinking that when I pull this out, it's actually snapping back better than I thought it would. In a lot of videos with bad starters, once you pull it out, it just kind of slowly drops itself back in, but this one's definitely easier to pull than the new one. So, lots of dirt falling out of it. Interesting. So FCP Euro told me that this was the same part. This one is obviously a lot shorter. I don't think it's going to be a problem because there was no clearance issues with that. The base of them seem to look the same. These parts are the same depth and have the same kind of alignment. So I don't think those connections are going to have a problem, but it's interesting. So this is the stuff on the new one. Old one, we got no info. And looking at the face of them, it's interesting they each have a little groove right there, so that's promising. And let's see. I line them up like this. They seem to be the same depth, so I don't know, maybe they enhanced this part along the line. I don't know. If you know, please let me know in my video comments. All right, I got a parts washer, so let me just clean up the tip of this thing. right, so the new one, the corners have a little bit of a 45 degree angle on them, and it seems like this old one, they're a little bit more worn. It's hard to say, it's not a lot more worn, but maybe that's part of the issue. I'm not really sure. All right, so some people disassemble these things and rebuild them, of course, or at least try to repair them, but I am not at that level, so I just bought a new one, $220 or something like that, and I'm sure some other part of that is gonna die eventually, so just take the new one and drop it back in. Okay, so just the reverse of before. I'm gonna try to stick the old one in here. See if everything clears. Get our negative ground cable in the right spot. All right, I'm gonna get the easy one in first so that I know that it's lined up.
There. Yeah, slightly clockwise. I think that is going to be attached to the socket and fish it all the way through, or use the magnet tool again.
All right, so I think we're gonna be daring. Try this method first.
Am I on the money?
Can't see it yet. Oh yeah, I see the bolt starting to come through now. Yeah, you're in the right spot. Just keep going straight forward.
Getting caught on something. Oh.
Oh God. Still connected.
That was my hand.
Oh, there she is. All right, hold on. So now I have to help you out here. Let me reach down and.
Magnet tool.
Oh, I think we got. Back up some. Keep back up just a little bit. All right. Aim it up higher. There you go. Up a little more higher. There you go. Yeah, up a little higher.
That's
keep going.
We have no more clearance.
Let's see. Reach in here. Guide it. All right, with my hand, I was able to stick it down there and guide that little negative terminal onto the bolt. Now I'm gonna grab the negative terminal and use that to guide the bolt into the hole. Yes, all right, we got it. We're just gonna tighten it down by hand and then torque it down with the ratchet. All right, torque spec on this is, I don't know, but I can't fit my torque wrench in there, so it's gonna be tight as balls.
One Ugga Dugga. There you go. There's the Ugga Dugga.
No more.
Two Ugga Duggas.
That's two. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
That's tight.
That's I'll make sure we
Retrieve all of our pieces. Gently. Not gently enough.
might need that to be back on there. All right.
Yeah, just slowly reposition it, move it around until it comes out. It's got it right out the first time. You want me to try it?
Yeah, I think we're gonna need to switch here.
Yeah. Camera. Please. No, I think if we just leave it here, it'll probably be fine.
This is where you might want a super long single extension that you don't have to worry about disconnecting, and if it has a pin securement to the socket, you can certainly use enough force to potentially pull it through, but we did get it once, so patience is a virtue.
All right, just to complete that line of thought, I was able to reach down there and pull the socket off of the end, and we pulled the rest of our components back out. So now we have to retighten the bolt on the other side.
Retightening the bolts. Maybe 2 ugga-duggas. We got one there, another one to go.
All right, that's not going anywhere. Okay, now I have to reattach this guy. And this little guy.
Remember that little hook goes on there? A little blurry there, so let's get that again.
10 millimeter back there. 13 millimeter here.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Hopefully that was helpful, guys. Please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, all that good YouTube stuff, and I'll see you on the next video.